This is the DJI Air 2S, and this drone is a huge upgrade from a lot of the other drones in DJI's lineup. And in this video, I want to go through 10 different reasons why you would want to get this drone or upgrade to this drone. And I'm going to go through some of the things that I've found when I've been playing around with it for the last few weeks. So I had the chance to get this drone a few weeks ago, and I've been flying in a ton of different situations, just testing out all the features that I could on it. And in this video, I'm gonna go through the reasons why you would wanna upgrade to this drone, but also I'm gonna give you my thoughts around it and some of the things that I found that I liked, and also some of the things that I found that I don't necessarily like. So let's just get right into the first reason, which is the 1-inch sensor. Now this sensor is going to give you better quality footage, and it's going to give you better footage in low light situations. The 1-inch sensor is only reserved for the Pro cameras. We've only seen a 1-inch sensor in the 2 Pro and the P4P, but now there is a 1-inch sensor on an Air style drone. Now this isn't a Hasselblad 1-inch sensor, this is a DJI 1-inch sensor. So there might be a little bit of a difference between the two. But one of the massive upgrades with this 1-inch sensor is that it does shoot 5.4K resolution for video creators. Now this camera has a f2.8, and that f2.8 is not adjustable, so it's not like the 2 Pro where you can go to an f11. This one is just a fixed 2.8 aperture. And for the field of view, you're getting a 22mm equivalent, so it's an 88-degree field of view. And the sensor is a 20-megapixel sensor. The original Air 2 is a 12-megapixel sensor with a 48-megapixel quad belayer system. Basically, they split the pixels into 4. It's some different style of sensor. This is a CMOS 20-megapixel sensor, so it's going to be able to give you some better looking footage, and it's going to give you some better noise performance as well. When I'm out flying and I'm seeing the quality that I'm getting out of this camera, it looks great. Like, I'm really happy with the footage that I've been able to get when I'm out flying. I've been in a bunch of different situations, whether it's morning, middle of the day, evening, as well as in some darker situations when the sun has just gone down over the horizon. And all the footage that I've been able to get out of this camera looks really good. And having a 1-inch sensor definitely gives this drone a huge advantage across the entire lineup of DJI's drones. Now, number 2 is a better obstacle sensing system. So this drone has more sensors on it. It's got backwards, forwards, up, and down. It doesn't have any side-to-side sensors. However, when you're out flying, it will detect objects in the way, and it will fly up and over them, or it will just stop, depending on how you have your settings set up. Number 3 is 10-bit footage, and this is huge for anyone who wants to do some post-processing on your footage. Having 10-bit gives you more data to be able to color grade and fix and adjust things in post. It records in H.265, and it has a video bitrate of 150 megabytes per second, which makes it higher than the other drones in DJI's lineup. The Air 2 only has 120 megabytes per second, and the 2 Pro, even though that camera is a 10-bit camera, it only has 100 megabytes per second. You're getting more information out of this drone, which allows you to do more color grading in post, and it's just gonna make your footage look better overall. All of the other cameras in DJI's lineup are 8-bit cameras, except for the 2 Pro. However, that one only records up to 4K 30 frames per second, and this drone does have a lot more flexibility when it comes to resolution and also frame rates. Number 4 is the size. This drone is the exact same size as the original Air 2. When you put them side by side, the only difference is the sensors and the camera. You can use the same battery as you used on the Air 2, and the only other difference that I've noticed is that the propellers have the orange on it versus the gray. Overall, this kit with the drone, a few batteries, controller, and the ND filters packs up super small into this little case. It's a much smaller footprint than the Pro 2, so it's easier to travel with and take anywhere. Number 5 is the 5.4K resolution. This drone shoots in 5.4K, which just gives you more flexibility. So if you are editing on a 4K timeline, that means you're going to be able to punch in 1.5 times on your footage and not lose any resolution when you're cropping in post. And when you combine this 5.4K resolution with the 10-bit camera, you have the highest resolution at the best quality that you'll get out of any of DJI's drones. Number 6 is frame rates. Now you have a ton of different options when it comes to frame rates in this drone. In the 5.4K resolution, you have 24, 25, or 30. You're not gonna do really any slow-mo when it comes to 5K. However, when you drop it down to 4K, you can go all the way up to 60 frames per second. And when you drop it down to 1080p, you can do 120 frames per second. Just gives you a lot of flexibility. So if you want to shoot at a higher frame rate and slow down your footage, you have the option in this drone, especially with the 4K 60. This is one thing that I really liked about the original Air 2 when I first started flying with that drone. Having 4K 60 gives you the flexibility to slow down in post and make your shots even smoother. Now, there are some issues that I found when it comes to the frame rates. When I put it in 4K 60, the camera crops in 2 times. Now, the original Air didn't have this crop. You could go in any frame rate, in any resolution, and it would stay the wide field of view. When I'm shooting in 4K 60, I don't want to be limited to a 2 times crop. So I'm not sure what's going on with this drone, but it's not able to process the 4K wide footage with 60 frames per second. It's punching in on the sensor. So this is where the original Air is going to have a major advantage, because if you want to have a wide field of view and be able to slow down to 60 frames per second, well, you can only do that on the original Air 2. Number 7 is zoom options. So you have a lot of different flexibility to zoom with this camera, even more so than the original Air 2. But when you're zooming in, you're essentially losing pixels at a certain point. For a lot of situations, especially like social content on your phone, you won't notice the loss in resolution. In the 5.4K mode, there is no zooming available. However, when you drop down to 4K, you can do a 2 times zoom, a 3 times zoom, and a 4 times zoom. Now, what I've noticed is when you go to 3 times or 4 times, there's definitely a clear loss of resolution when you put it on a big screen. On a phone, it's not as noticeable. Doing quick edits and you're just uploading straight to your phone, it is nice to have these zoom functionalities in the drone. Now, number 8 is master shots. So it has active track, it has quick shots, and now you have master shots. And essentially, master shots is an automatic drone that then edits your footage for you. So depending on what you're doing a master shot of, the drone's gonna decide a series of shots that it thinks is best for that location or that situation. It's gonna shoot all of them in a few minutes, and then it's gonna edit a video automatically for you. So if you don't wanna have to think about anything, and you just wanna get some really cool footage of a location that you're in or something specific, and you want the drone to do everything for you, you just turn on your master shots, draw on the screen like you would an active track, hit the button to go, hands off. Drone does everything for you, and then it edits all that footage for you into a short little video. Number 9 is Active Track 3.0. So this is the best active track that DJI has put into a drone. It locks onto the subject and stays locked on. And I think that this can be definitely used for follow situations where you're like mountain biking or you're trail running, and you won't have to worry about the drone losing its lock on the subject. I was playing around with this in a lot of different situations, and when I was putting it in sport mode with some Jeeps going through the desert, it stayed locked on, and it could do these crazy moves where I was whipping around the Jeeps, and it would completely keep the subject centered the entire time. Now, I just ordered a bike mount because I want to test this and have it follow me through trails, because I definitely think that this is now at a level where the drone will stay locked onto you as long as it can see the subject. Even if your subject does go behind like a bush or something, it will continue the movement for a little while until it locks back onto the subject. And I'm super impressed with how this works. Now, because the sensors only sense in 4 directions, up, down, forward, back, if you're moving side to side, it's not gonna sense an object that's in the way. So doing something like an orbit with active track, you have to actually pay attention to what's on the sides. However, if you're following a subject forwards or backwards, then you'll be able to rely on the optical sensing to stop and potentially move up and over that object so it doesn't actually hit anything. Number 10 is the new transmission system that's in the drone itself. Now, the original Air 2 had 2 antennas to give you a clean signal. This one has 4. So no matter what situation you're in, you're most likely not going to lose a transmission from the drone to the controller. And as I've been out flying, I've had no dropouts whatsoever. Like, the image has stayed crystal clear wherever the drone is in whatever situation that I'm in. So the video transmission signal will stay connected to the controller, and you're not gonna have to deal with dropouts or anything like that. Now, is this drone perfect and should you run out and get it? Well, it just depends on what you need. So for video shooters, I definitely think this is a great addition to the DJI lineup. And if I was to choose between the Air 2 and the Air 2S, I probably would go with the Air 2S because of all these upgrades. I think if you're a Mini 2 owner and you're looking for active track that's going to stay locked on, this is definitely a solid choice when it comes to an upgrade. Now, if you're an Air 2 owner, you might want to pick this one up because you're going to be able to get better resolution for video, and also that 1-inch sensor's better low light, and it's also going to give you a better look out of the camera overall. Now, for Mavic 2 Pro owners, you might want to switch to this because it's a 1-inch sensor. However, you have a lot more features packed into this and there's just more options to shoot. This drone gets me super excited for what DJI is going to come out with for the 3 Pro. Because if all of these features are packed into an Air 2 body, then that means the 3 Pro is going to be like insane. Probably gonna have a higher resolution or more features packed into it. It's definitely gonna have the better transmission, the active track, all of that. Mavic Pro line hasn't been upgraded in a while, so hopefully we see a 3 Pro soon because that drone is gonna be on another level. The Air 2S is definitely a pro drone in a super small setup. So I'll put more information down below in the description. And I highly suggest you check out this video right here. It goes through 10 different drone moves that I like to use all the time. And a lot of the footage that you're gonna see in this video was all shot on the Air 2S. All right, guys, I'll see you over there.